I make $80,000 a month at 16, and here is how ads in info actually work. You have VSLs, you have webinars, you have sales funnels, but before I get into that, let me ask you something real quick, because when was the last time that you clicked on an ad that sent you to a VSL, then you watched the VSL, you clicked book a call, you booked in the call, you answered the pre-call questions, then you read the post-booking material, watched the post-booking VSL, then you showed up on time, spoke to the closer, had a great conversation with him, and then bought. I don't know about you, but I've never done that. And everyone I speak to has never done that too. This only works nowadays for B2C in extremely unsaturated niches, or people like Iman Ghazi, Tai Lopez, and every other big personal brand who actually has built the leverage to do that. But for people like you and I, for people between $20,000 and $100,000 a month, it doesn't work, right? And so after funnel hacking the biggest personal brands in the game, I've discovered a new system for people doing $20,000 to $100,000 a month, which allowed me to hit $80K a month at 16 whilst only spending $10K a month on ads. So let me break down the strategy. But first, I need to ask you another question. When was the last time you bought from someone you followed on social media? Because it was probably recently. I've spent tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars on mentors and coaches who I follow on social media. That means what? Followers are more valuable than any form of lead. And so this here is a strategy to get followers who are warm, who are qualified, who like you, who trust you, and who actually want to work with you. And so I'm going to show you how to do this, and I'm going to show you a bunch of hacks and tricks which no one is telling you in this space, which are the difference between, completely failing when it comes to ads and making a lot of money. So let's get into it. Firstly, you need to be running CRA ads. This stands for cognitive response ads. The goal of these ads is to get Instagram followers who are qualified and ready to get nurtured by your Instagram landing page, which I'll get to in a second. Now, cognitive response ads work by triggering specific cognitive responses inside of the minds of the viewer, and we do this with what I call, or with what science calls, cognitive biases. Here are some right now. Confirmation bias, and these are all we use in ads. Loss aversion, anchoring, availability heuristic, the herd effect, endowment effect, contribution effect, comparative contrast. These are all different biases which we use, right? So for example, we are going to test comment ads over DM ads, because if you're seeing a ton of qualified leads, people aka like yourself, commenting on a video, then you're probably going to get pulled into doing the same because it's a shortcut. These here are shortcuts your brain makes, and so seeing all these qualified leads commenting is a shortcut that your brain is going to make. It's going to be like, okay, look, I'm going to go ahead and comment too because all these people just like me are doing it. That must be the right action to take, right? Another example of this is the confirmation bias, making people not think they're stupid, not think they're lazy, basically taking the blame off them and placing the blame on a problem which we're going to solve for them. That's another one, right? Loss aversion. People don't want to lose stuff. So if we kind of paint a picture that they're losing something and, that's a big problem to them, then they're going to listen up. They're going to take action. And so the structure we use in this ad is we have a primal based hook. Now this is a hook where we leverage one or more of the 16 human desires: fitness, relaxation, achievement, freedom, knowledge, truth, all these different 16 human desires, which every single person has. That way you know that it's actually going to work as a hook because everyone has those desires. So you hook them in, then we use 3 problems. So we have 3 problems which are in chronological order of their most painful, and then we agitate those problems. Agitation is basically digging the knife deeper. It's making the pain even worse and making it feel permanent and trapping. Why? Because people are more likely to be moved by pain than they are to be moved by desire or any other emotion, right? If I'm pinching you and I'm pinching you for 10 minutes straight, eventually you're going to pull your hand away because it gets to a pain threshold, it gets sore, and so the pain prompted action. Same thing here. We have pain here to then prompt action with a mid-roll call to action. And the same thing at the end. I'll get to that in a second, but we use pain to prompt action. Once we've dug into the pain enough, we then have the mid-roll call to action because people get bored, they scroll. So we make sure to have a call to action early on in the ad to get them to take the action. We have the unique mechanism, we have the desired outcomes. And then from there, like anyone who's watching who hasn't taken that action, they are skeptical. They don't trust you. They don't believe you. So we need to have proof. We need to have 3 client case studies as proof, and then an identity-based call to action. This is where if they don't take the action, they are violating the identity. They're violating the person that they want to become. How do you do this? An example is if you're tired of pain point. Once again, we have pain to prompt action, and you actually want desire. That's like, basically summarize. They want to stop the pain. They want to get to this desire. Then take this action. where I'll show you these different things. And since we're saying just to follow, it's for free. I'll teach you these 3 different things for completely free. So then it's a no-brainer, because if they don't take that action, it's like they're basically violating the person they want to become, and it's a no-brainer offer, because you're basically explaining these 3 benefits you get for 100% free if you follow. So it's a complete no-brainer, and these ads are killing it. Anyway, now I want to talk to you about where these people go. These people need to be nurtured, right? So many people just focus on the ads. I have clients come to me who, they think as soon as they get an ad up, it's going to make them money. It's not true. Ads just get eyeballs. Ads get qualified eyeballs. And this is the most important part. This is what makes people like and trust you and want to pay money. And if you've ever hired someone or paid someone from social media, it's because they had this dialed. You want to have your reels, stories, YouTube, highlights, like every single part dialed. And within that, you want to have value, right? You want to have results. You want to have messaging. And if you see mine right here, same sort of thing. I have a lifestyle profile pic. Why? Because that makes me look like a real person. I have a verified badge for the status. I have a bio, which is what I call an authoritative bio, because you see right here, built a 76K a month business at 16. Now I've generated this much money for coaches with the automated Instagram ecosystem. So it's all authority, ICP, and then unique mechanism, and it funnels where? It funnels to my YouTube. I'll get to that in a second. Then you want to have a highlight flywheel. This is a specifically designed converting highlight structure where you basically use this principle of like volume. So if we have multiple different highlights that say results, people are going to automatically assume that we have a lot of client results. So even if you only have 5 in each, that's fine, because people assume that you have a lot of client results. From there, we want to have lifestyle here just to kind of like make you look like a real person, and then reels with thumbnails. Same sort of thing on YouTube, right? Nice profile picture. You want to be posting a lot of videos. I posted 90 now, which is kind of crazy. And yeah, just posting a lot of videos, having them be long so people can get nurtured. 17 minutes, 9 minutes, 9 minutes. And the best way to grow these things is with brute force. You see, I'm posting every single day on YouTube. Oh wow, I missed a day. That's not good. Anyway, I'm posting every single day on YouTube. If you want to see more videos like this, just go ahead and subscribe to me. It's growing. You might even be my 600 subscriber by now, which will be cool. Anyway, now we want to leverage one-to-one human connection, right? Because the reason why you bought from these people from social media is because you felt a connection to them. You felt trust, and we want to stimulate trust at scale, right? Because VSL's webinars, they're the opposite of trust. It's a guy who sat down, filmed a video for 20 minutes, probably will never speak to you, doesn't care about you, doesn't even know you exist. We want to do the opposite of that. So we have an appointment set, a message every single person who follows to, warm them up, to nurture them, to make them like you, to make them trust you. And what they're allowed to do with this is, because it's an Instagram, they can send pre-recorded voice notes. So you can pre-record voice notes and give it to them, so that when they send it to leads, the leads think it's them. And how do you do this? You do this by having M4A files. When you drag and drop an M4A file into an Instagram chat, it plays like a normal voice note. You can have videos and photos. You can have follow-ups. You can leverage it like this one-to-one connection. You can even call people, and it's all at scale. Now, that is part of the strategy. But now let me tell you what most people miss, because ads and info die really quickly. What you'll notice is that when you launch ads that are good, they rip initially. You think, oh my God, I'm going to make so much money. I'm going to be, printing money. But then the lead quality dies off, and all of the leads are ass. Why? Because the info space is so little. So the ads first go to the info space, and once the info space, the frequency is high, but the results aren't high, Facebook's going to think that the info space doesn't care about your ad anymore, so it's going to push it out to the broader market. The broader market is where you get shitty bot leads that, you're just like, how does this person even exist? So basically what happens here is that your frequency hikes up. When your frequency hikes up, what that means is that the same amount of people are seeing the ads multiple times, but the results go down. So the frequency is up and the results go down, which means that Facebook thinks that the info space doesn't really care about your ad, which is true. The info space has been saturated from that ad creative, so it starts pushing it out to the broader market. So what happens is your ads have literally saturated the entire info market, and that means you need to repackage and rerun ads by creating an ad creation schedule. So with us, we're spending 10K a month on ads, and we're making 30 ads a month. Why? Because this is never going to happen now, right? Because we have consistency in the ads. So when stuff dies out, cool. We just launched an ad yesterday. We launched an ad today. We have 5 ads launching tomorrow. Cool. It doesn't really matter. And that way you're never in a position where the lead quality dies, and so does like the business. The thing is, it's not about the individual ads, it's about the angle you take. So an entire campaign can die out, and what this means is you need the best ideas, and you need new ideas to hit the info market with, because the info market is well and truly big enough to even do $1 million a month, right? You just need to kind of hit them with different things all the time. So you need to think long and hard about a general idea or campaign, which should be inspired by a thesis you have. A thesis is like, I think if we hit the info market with X, Y, Z, it would do well. And once you refine this idea, making ads for it becomes really easy. And then you just repeat the cycle. Same shit, different packaging, all right? So if you do this consistently and double however much you're spending on ads right now, I promise that you'll crush it. So if you want to see daily breakdowns of how I make $80,000 a month at 16, how I'm scaling to $100,000 a month before September, subscribe to me here on YouTube. Once again, make daily videos breaking it down, and I'll see you on the other side. Peace out.